Hey, what's going on, you guys? Jordan over here at the Movie Den. I hope you all are doing well. Guys, today's video, I'm sure if you guys have watched my prior videos, you guys already knew that this one was coming. But today we are going to be doing a review of the movie and of each release and doing a battle between these two. So might be a little bit of a long video today, but it'll be a fun one. Today we're going to be discussing Aldo Lado's Short Night of Glass Dolls. So as you see, we have one from Celluloid Dreams, and we also have the one from 88 Films. Now, these both have their pros and cons for each that I do want to dive in and talk about, but let's talk about the movie itself. So this movie is about this foreign correspondent, a journalist named Gregory, where he is found completely unconscious outside, actually opens up and he's discovered by a raven, and he is as if he is dead, except the only thing that is working is his mind. And so through the movie, there's a lot of time jumps from present to past. The reason is because he is taken from there to a morgue where they are realizing that, hey, he's not showing the normal signs of someone who has died. He's not going through rigor mortis. His body temperature isn't dropping. However, all other signs show that he is dead. No heartbeat, no breathing, nothing. His eyes are stuck wide open. You hear the narration of Greg as everything is going on. He's trying to move his body. He's trying to tell the doctors, hey, I'm alive. Look for signs. Keep trying, keep trying. And throughout the movie, Greg tries to figure out and think back what has happened to him. And that's the flashbacks you see of everything that leads up to that event in the movie. Like I said earlier, he's a journalist in Prague, and what happens is his girlfriend goes missing one night after they were at a very high-end party with a lot of bigwigs of the area. Well, he goes off looking for her, does his own little investigation. He actually starts to find himself diving into an Illuminati type cult that he is discovering that is responsible for all of these young women missing. And that is pretty much what the movie is about. I don't want to give too much away because this movie is phenomenal. This was a first time watch for me. And so I do have to say I watched it the first time, and at first it was a snooze fest for me. I was not into it the first go around. It really didn't pick up for me until like the very end, where it just smacks you in the face of what's going on. So what I did was, like, the next day I went back and I decided I'm going to watch it again. Now I kind of know what the pacing of this movie is. I know really what the ending is, and let's rewatch it. And I fell in love with it. The second time around, I understood it after watching also some interviews, reading the booklets and stuff. Guys, this movie's phenomenal. And this movie has a lot of the Giallo-esque themes to it, tons of red herrings. There's a lot of that. It makes you lean into the unreliable narrator that's going on with it, because he gets people starting accusing him of the murder of his girlfriend, or the disappearance rather. And so you start to question, okay, what is real? What isn't? And I won't tell you, obviously, really what happens. What I thought was really interesting is there's actually an interview in here on both of the releases. However, the Celluloid Dreams cuts it off. It is just the one with the director, Aldo Lado. The one on 88 Films has the entire one with a couple of other, like, I think producers or something like that are in there. I didn't watch the full one. I just mainly focused on the one with the director. And he had talked about how this one was actually Aldo Lado's directorial debut. See, he had actually written this as a script due to he had lost his job, and he had been in the industry doing writings and stuff before, but he went on a trip and he was kind of just down in the dumps and trying to figure out, what am I going to do? I don't have money. I don't know what I'm going to do. So he just writes the script. Somehow or another, people get a hold of it, and he's got directors coming at him saying, hey, I want to make this movie. And he pretty much said, look, I'm the one who wants to make this movie. I don't want anyone else to touch it. Well, this guy has never directed a movie before. So finally, a director came in and they decided, hey, how about I make you a co-director? He's like, no, because if the movie is a success, you're going to get all the credit. If the movie's a failure, I'm going to get all the credit for the failure. I'm not doing that. Eventually, he found himself in the position to actually be able to direct this movie. And that's what you get. Short Night of Glass Dolls. Actually, fun fact, it was originally supposed to be called Short Night of the Butterfly or Butterflies. However, the reason for the name change is right before Short Night of Glass Dolls was going to come out. At the time, Short Night of the Butterfly, there was a Giallo that just came out called The Bloodstained Butterfly. And they really did not want to feel like they're riding off the coattails of that movie. So it quickly got changed to Short Night of Glass Dolls. Now, he had talked about, Aldo Lotto talked about, Short Night of the Butterfly made sense. Short Night of Glass Dolls, not really. So let's go ahead and talk about each of these releases, right? We have the Celluloid Dreams, Short Night of Glass Dolls, and we have 88 Films. So let's go ahead and start with, let's do Celluloid Dreams, okay? So this is actually Celluloid Dreams' second release ever. Their first one, Case of the Bloody Iris, which I do need to pick up, I will say. I just haven't done it yet. But here it is right here. Oh, and of course, later I am going to be doing a top-down unboxing of both of these, so don't worry about that. But here is the Celluloid Dreams one. Now, like I said, there's pros and cons to each. What I did notice with the Celluloid Dreams release, they're both 4K. I felt like the 4K for Celluloid Dreams was, well, I don't feel like it is quite a bit darker. The transfer is than 88 Films. Now, that's not necessarily meaning it's worse, because especially if you start with Celluloid Dreams and you're watching it, you don't really notice it. At least I didn't. I kind of forgot about it, to be honest with you. But when I put on the 88 Films version, it was like it got kicked up and it looks good. Celluloid Dreams still looks really good. So it's not really a game changer or a deal breaker on which one you should get, in my opinion. That's something to mention is, Celluloid Dreams, a little bit darker than 88 Films. 88 Films boosted the brightness and stuff like that. I'll go ahead and show some pictures right here for you. Now, as far as audio goes, I think they both sound really great. They both sound pretty much the same, so nothing really there. Special features is where things are going to get a little different. If I had to pick for special features, I got to give it to Celluloid Dreams. They put so many different special features in there. The one thing that 88 Films did have, though, that I talked about earlier, is they had the full-length, featurette interview. It was a feature-length interview, really, with two of the people involved in the movie. This one, they just cut it with just Aldo Lotto's portion of the movie. With this, though, you're getting 7 featurettes in it. You're getting 2 different versions of the movie. You're getting the 35 millimeter Grindhouse version, and then you're also getting the Paralyzed, which is the original US VHS version. You're also getting in this the isolated score, and you're getting a really, really awesome visual essay that I think is leaps and bounds better than the one you got with 88 Films, in my opinion. He talked about what was going around at the time in the area of Eastern Europe, Prague, Czechoslovakia, and all that stuff not too long before this came out, which inspired Aldo Lotto's story. There's almost like a political allegory in a way, I guess you could say, of things that were going on in Prague, Czechoslovakia, all those different places at the time or right before this. And Aldo Lotto really explains that as well, not only in this visual essay, which was not by the director, but in his interview, he does talk about that. That's kind of where he pulled from that. So that's some of the awesome stuff that you are getting with the Celluloid Dreams version of Short Night of Glass Dolls. Now, with 88 Films, you are getting some other really cool stuff. You're getting a few different brand new interviews, visual essays, stuff like that on 88 Films release. I just, like I said, prefer the visual essay from Celluloid Dreams. But that's kind of the quick difference. The booklets are obviously different. This one's coming with a poster, which we'll talk about here in a minute. This one doesn't, but I do respect this one a lot because of how small Celluloid Dreams is, and they're putting out these banger of releases, which I do love this version. So anyways, let's go ahead. We're going to move over to my overhead shot. We're going to unbox both of these, show you everything that comes in each of these. And then after that, what we're going to do is I'm going to give you my thoughts on the movie and whether or not I recommend and which one I recommend you guys picking up. All right, guys. So here we have both copies, Celluloid Dreams and 88 Films of Short Night of Glass Dolls. Let's go ahead and start with the Celluloid Dreams one, and then after that, we'll move on to 88 Films. So here is Celluloid Dreams release of Short Night of Glass Dolls. So here you've got the front right here. There is the spine. And then the back. Now this does have like a backing card, very similar. Think of like Umbrella, how they have their similar backing card, which is nice because like Umbrella, you could just slide this right into the box, which is what I'll do here in just a minute. But here you are if you guys want to pause the video and go ahead and take a look at all the stuff on the back. Perfect, there you are. And then behind it, there is the back artwork right there. Now this is, as you guys can tell, a very high gloss finish on the box, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I prefer more of the matte boxes. I just think they look better, not as much as fingerprint magnets, to be honest with you, but this one still does pretty good. Anyways, let's go ahead and take the contents out. We'll talk about it. So I know what you guys are already thinking. Jordan, I thought this was a 4K, and you'd be right. It is a 4K. However, for some reason, and unfortunately, I do not know why, Celluloid Dreams put this in a Blu-ray case. I've gone so far as to, I have ordered a 4K 4-disc case for this reason. I don't know, it just bothers me. So that's one big complaint I do have. But there's the front right there. You have the Italian writing right there. La corta notte della bambole del vetro. You guys can tell me if I butchered that or not, but there is that. This is actually the reverse artwork. On the other side, it does say just Short Night of Glass Dolls. But anyways, there you are right there. There's the side. And the back, same as the little back card right there. Let's go ahead and open this up. And guys, look at that. It's a little tease of what's coming soon. So there you are. And then there is Case of the Bloody Iris that is already out, which, like I said earlier, I do need to pick up. As I said before, this is a 4K, even though it is a Blu-ray case. There is your 4K right there. You have your Blu-ray case that has the Blu-ray of the movie. This is your third disc, your Blu-ray, and this is all the special features. And then the back, you have another Blu-ray, except this one has the Grindhouse version and the Paralyzed, the US VHS cut. And there is a reverse artwork, like I said right there. Short Night of Glass Dolls. You can just flip it, and it's the exact same, just with the different writing. But I'm gonna leave that there, just like that. Next, we have our booklet. So it's the same exact artwork that's on the rigid box. There's the front and the back. Let's go ahead and skim through this. There we are. Opens right up to In the Memory of Aldo Lado, who passed away in 2023. And this is a numbered booklet. Let's see here. What's it going to say? You got some thank yous there. Here we go. 57 pages. So it talks about the restoration here. All original film elements used in this restoration were provided by Rewind Film in Rome. The U.S. export Paralyzed release was sourced from original VHS tape and was captured using a Doomsday duplicator alongside. So anyways, they are very transparent, which I think is really cool. Find out what they did to bring this movie back to life. Guys, this has amazing essays in here. I can't flip through all of it because there are some stuff in here that YouTube will not like. So there is that. That is everything you are getting in the Celluloid Dreams version of Short Night of Glass Dolls. And like I said before, you can throw this right in there. Look at this. Perfect. And so if you like to keep these, you don't have to find a place to store it. One more complaint I do have about this release, and then that's it. If you look, this booklet is a little too long for this rigid case. It sticks out a little bit. I don't know if you guys can, there we go. You guys see it right there. Look at that. So that's kind of annoying, but other than that, I mean, I can look past it, but it's still irritating. So anyways, there you are. Next, let's go ahead and move on to 88 films right here. Now, the J card, at least for my releases that I have of 88 films, this is kind of new. And if you look at top, it's really cool. This is part of their Italian collection. And you've got the colors right there for the Italian flag. So there's the front, the side, and the back with all of your special features and everything that comes in this release. Per usual, you guys can go ahead and pause the video if you'd like, if you want to take a look at everything that this comes with. So there is the front. And guys, like I said earlier, I definitely prefer the artwork on this. Personally, I think it looks better, and I like that it's a matte finish slip box. So there's the side right there, Short Night of Glass Dolls. And the back, you have the butterfly, which is, important to the movie, and the Italian collection up there. Now, I thought it is right here. So the Italian collection number 21. That's pretty cool with that 88 Films does that. Kind of makes the collector in me excited and makes me want to collect something. You know what I mean? But let's go ahead and take that out. There is the box right there. Let's go ahead and start with the case. So similar to what they did with Celluloid Dreams, you have, this is the Italian version. I went ahead and reversed the artwork, except this is in red and Celluloid Dreams is the lettering's in yellow. There's that. There is the spine and the back, same as the J card. Let's go and open this up. So in here, you are just getting 2 discs. You are getting your 4K right there. And then you're also getting your Blu-ray. This is going to have the movie in it. And you also are getting all of your special features in there. This, you're also getting some extra stuff that you're not getting from Celluloid Dreams. You're getting some art cards. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. Now, I haven't looked at these art cards yet, so I don't know if I have to skip any. All right, so there you are right there, and the reverse is all blank. So there's some of the art cards that you are getting. All right, and there is Greg right there. He is on the operating table. There you are. And I actually do like these, that they kind of change it up a little bit, something different than just pictures. I don't know. Gives me something new to look at, I guess. There you are. And there is the last one right there. So those are all the lobby cards, art cards, whatever you guys want to call them, that you are getting with this release from 88 Films. All right, let's go ahead and put that back in there. Oh, and then reverse. I didn't get to show you guys that. So there it is. Right there. I did say that it's the same, just Italian. I was mistaken. I already forgot. This is the artwork that's on the rigid case. But I switched it, obviously, over to the original artwork. I definitely do prefer that. Get the best of both worlds, I always say, when they add something like that. Kind of like what Arrow does with all their releases. So there you are. Here you are also getting a poster, which is really neat. Okay, clear my space here because this is a decent poster. So I don't know if you guys can get that on frame. We'll go ahead and show you. There's that. It's their commissioned artwork they got. And then if we flip it, there you are. You have the original artwork right there. So there is the poster that you are getting with this release. And then finally, you are getting a nice booklet right there. And the back is the butterfly. Let's go ahead and fan through this. There you are. And this one is 77 pages. There's all the special thanks. There we are. And this, whoa, can't look at that. This also has some really good essays in it. Definitely check that out. So guys, that is everything you were getting in the 88 Films release and the Celluloid Dreams release of Short Night of Glass Dolls. All right, guys, so there's everything you guys will be getting in your releases from Celluloid Dreams and 88 Films of Short Night of Glass Dolls. Now, like I talked about earlier, the movie was phenomenal. My second go around. Aldo Lotto plays with the viewer of the movie. He plays, and you can tell he has fun with it because of the red herrings, because of you think you're going one way, but you're going the other. He knows what he's doing. I mean, he was a writer first, so that is evident. As far as which one do I recommend, guys, that is hard, because I think both of these have excellent reasons to get them. I'm going to have to give it to Celluloid Dreams. You're getting so much with this. You're getting the different cuts of the movie. You're getting a much better visual essay, in my opinion. Yes, that interview was cut short on this one, but I think really that is all you need with this. You're just getting a lot more content with this. Now, yes, the transfer is darker, but like I said, once you're watching it, you forget about it. You don't even really notice it. There isn't a poster in this. I don't think that's a deal breaker, to be honest with you. The booklet is really good in this one as well. Yes, the artwork is not as good as 88 Films, in my opinion. I think at least what you're getting with the movie and the special features, everything, I think this definitely puts it above this. Not knocking this though, guys. If you guys go with this, you're going to love it either way. But like I said, I have to give the edge to Celluloid Dreams. Oh, I should also mention 88 Films is a UK-based company, so the Blu-ray in this for the special features is Region B locked. This isn't. So that could sway you one way or another if you don't have a region-free player, because the special features are not on the 4K. There's a couple audio commentaries, but the majority of them is going to be on the region locked, region B Blu-ray. So take that into consideration when you guys are deciding on these. But guys, that is my video, my in-depth review of both Celluloid Dreams 88 Films release of Short Night of Glass Dolls. And guys, let me know down below, which one of these did you pick up if you did, or if you guys have decided which one you're going to pick up based on this. And I'd love to talk to you guys. Also, remember, down below, I will be putting links where you can pick these up. It will be over at the movie room. So if you guys do go there, make sure to use my coupon code MovieDen10. That'll get you a one-time 10% off your order, save you a little bit of money on these releases. But guys, like I said, that is going to be the end of the video. You guys have a good one. Take care.